You're watching the Lansdowne Hour, here on TV Free Baltimore.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of our Lansdowne Hour. And today, our guest is the branch manager of the Lansdowne Library, Cindy Swanson-Farmarco. Is that right? Farmarco, excuse me. So welcome, Cindy.
Thank you.
Now, I saw that with the branch manager brings into what I was saying. My impression was not too long ago, the Lansdowne branch was kind of like the orphan child of the Arbutus Library. And now you're independent of them? Is that true? You want to explain that a little bit?
Sure, that is correct. Last fall, our administration made a decision to have what were known as the satellite branches, which reported to other branches, to become independent branches. And so we achieved our independence, and so now we report directly to an assistant director.
Wow.
And we got our own branch managers, so I was very fortunately promoted to that position.
Terrific.
And we also got some additional staff, so it really makes us a full player amongst the 19 branches, as opposed to being kind of a child-parent relationship the way it was before.
I was going to say, it always seemed like our library was kind of like a little stepchild or afterthought, especially when it was closed for all those years, And I know we did an interview with you a little while ago, a couple years ago almost now, about the 10th anniversary of the reopening, I think, of the branch.
Exactly. That was in 2006. So it was the 10th anniversary of the reopening. And the branch actually was built in 1966.
Right.
So depending on how you look at it, it could also have been the 50th anniversary celebration.
Right. Because I remember being there as a kid, So, okay, what is the mission of the library?
So the mission of the library, our mission is the same as the overall Baltimore County Public Library mission.
Okay.
So it's providing opportunities to explore, learn, create, and connect.
Okay. And fleshing that out.
So that's part of our strategic plan from 2016 through 2018.
Okay.
So according to the plan, what we place value upon is our customers and our communities, equal access and intellectual freedom, flexibility and collaboration, and a spirit of continuous improvement.
Okay.
So that's kind of what we place our value upon.
Right.
And then our vision is empowered and engaged individuals in an inclusive and connected Baltimore County community.
Wow.
So that's our vision. That's what we're striving for.
Great. That's a mouthful, too. So part I will get back to that because I want to see more about how you guys handle all this. But first, I'll split up into two things. Technology. What is the role of a library in the 21st century?
I think technology is definitely a large part of what we do. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do still have books. They are not forgotten, and we have many. But technology is really, we provide technology services and instruction to our customers and our community. A lot of our customers don't have their own computer. Mm-hmm. So we have 12 computers at our branch for ages 8 and up to use. So it could be a child doing their homework. It could be someone applying for a job. Mm-hmm. We also have one extra library catalog just for people to look up books. And we have 2 computers that are devoted for children to use that have games and educational activities on them.
Great.
And we also offer a service called My Librarian. So you can have a 1-hour appointment with a librarian to do any sort of technology instruction that you choose. It could be learning how to use Word. It could be trying to find a job. It could be I want to learn. I got a e-reader for Christmas. Can you teach me how to use it? It could be learning how to download our ebooks, or how to download apps, or I'm having trouble using my laptop. Can you help me navigate how to use it? So we don't fix computers in the sense that like my computer is broken, but we do offer all sorts of technological assistance.
Well, that's great. The one-on-one is great. 'Cause I know that they have offered at other branches. I don't know if they do at Lansdowne. They used to have like computer classes.
And we did try that approach. Generally, we would get one or two people for a class.
Okay.
So the one-on-one kind of fit our customers' needs better. And because we only have 12 computers, as opposed to a larger branch might have 30 or 40,
right.
And they are in use a lot of the time, then this way we can just we can reserve a computer and set aside just some one-on-one time to meet that person's individual needs.
Now, aren't you also able to maybe borrow an ebook reader from the library or a laptop from the library, or do they do that in Baltimore County?
We do have Chromebooks, so you can borrow a Chromebook, which is kind of a little mini laptop, and those are checked out almost all the time. They're very popular. We did have e-readers for a very short time. They were not as popular, so we discontinued that service. But the Chromebooks are great if somebody's working on a homework project or their computer at home broke and they need to borrow something just temporarily. So those are very popular.
Oh, good. Nice to hear that. Because part of, too, I was thinking of how things, have changed with technology. I certainly remember, and I don't know if that role has changed or if they still have them. There always used to be reference librarians. And how do you deal with questions of reference or reference librarian in the age of Google?
It makes our job very different, but we are all technologically savvy in terms of doing research, and while people may be able to Google it, as we say, the library actually offers a large number of resources that can't be found on Google.
For example?
We have Ancestry.com. So you can, with your library card, in library use only, but you can come and work on your family history and your genealogy, and that's if you had to pay for that yourself and at your house, that would be quite expensive. So we offer things like Ancestry.com and a lot of other databases. Some of the more popular ones are an auto repair database. So whereas we used to have the very large Chilton's manuals that you would take and repair your car, now we have an auto repair database that you can just look up your make, your model, your year, and it'll give you instructions on whatever part you want to repair. We have testing and education databases. So if somebody wants to study for the GED and the books checked out, they can go online. They have practice tests. They have study guides. And as well as we used to have rows and rows of literary criticism and current biography and books that took up a lot of shelf space, and now those are databases. So customers can come into the library, or even with their library card, access those from home and do their research or their homework from anywhere from high school on up. And do their serious research paper just like they would have when we had miles of hefty tomes. Now it's all online.
Because I remember what I used to love so much, even when I was an undergraduate, was something that was called the Reader's Guide to Periodic Literature. And that it no longer exists, right?
Not in that book form, no.
Does it in a database? Can you still call that up, or no?
There is what we call the EBSCO magazine database now. So it is the same thing, but again, it's online. So if someone's doing research, we have magazine and newspaper databases, both for current periodicals, and we have historical ones. So the bigger papers like the Washington Post, the Baltimore Sun, the New York Times, they have digitized those going back to centuries. So you can actually do historical research those papers are accessible. They can print out an article, they can look at an abstract, they can read the article, both for historical papers and current ones, and magazines.
And this is done at the library for free?
This is done at the library for free.
Because I know if you do it at home, you have to pay for it for one of those newspaper services, because I've seen that.
It's totally free. All you need is a library card, which is also totally free. You can access most of the databases from home with your library card. You just go to our website, bcpl.info, and go to research databases, and it just will ask you to type in your library card number. The only thing that we have a nominal charge for is printing, and that's only 15 cents a page.
Well, that's really cheap.
Yeah, so you can get a lot for your 15 cents.
Yeah, you can, but I don't know if it's but I know it's. I think you pay so much for like text, but then I think if you want like an image and if it's in color, you pay more for color, don't you?
It's 30 cents a page if you want to print in color.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. 15 or 30. Come on.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
That's right.
And are these like the technological part we're talking about again? Is that countywide, or is it some of it like you say, like maybe tailored to a branch? Because some of the needs of this community, when people don't have computers, as opposed to maybe a more higher socioeconomic area branch.
For our particular branch, all branches have computers. We have as many as we could stuff into our building, which is 12. We have a very small footprint that we operate out of. Now, some of the bigger branches, in particular, like at the Owings Mills branch that shares its library with the community college, then they have twice as many at least computers. Right. So we do try to kind of tailor the number of computers to the needs, and in fact, there has been a redistribution of computers. So if some branch finds they're not as well utilized, they will go to another. Then the computers will go to another branch where they might need more computers. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good to know. So I'm trying to think too about some of the things with programming and things that you do at your library and at the county. I don't know if you talk when you talk about mission, but at one point, and the last time I interviewed you, you talked about the theme of the library.
Yeah. Well, the theme of the library is basically give them what they want for the 21st century. So that's our Baltimore County Public Library theme, and we try to do that. We try to have, especially in our little branch, a little something for everyone. Mm-hmm. So we have library cards are free for anyone, and with books, magazines, all sorts of materials to check out. But we also have programs, and some people would not necessarily think of their library as a place to go for all different sorts of programs, but we do programming all the time for anywhere from little kids to adults. So some of the things we have coming up are we have our Winter Wonders Magic Show.
Oh, wow.
On Monday night. So that's magic fun for all ages with Mike Rose, who's a very popular magician up and down the East Coast.
Terrific.
And one of the things that we're doing is we're actually starting an anime and manga club. So we're having an interest meeting on Wednesday after school for our teens. So the kids who are interested in anime and manga, we're starting a new group for them. And then we just do things that are family fun, like family game and bingo night is coming up in February.
Wow.
So we have things for all ages. And then we have some regular programming that we do every week. Every Wednesday night, we have a family story time and a craft. For all geared for little kids, but really any age can come because you can bring your whole family. We also have on the first, third, and fourth Saturday of the month the Pause to Read Dog. So we partner with Pets on Wheels, and they bring a certified friendly dog that will sit and listen to kids read, and that's particularly helpful for shy readers or reluctant readers or kids who may be reading below grade level because they feel a little intimidated reading to an adult, but reading to a dog, it's very relaxing for them. So it gives them a chance to practice their reading skills, and the kids love the dogs.
Well, that's terrific. I was going to ask about any literacy programs that you might be doing.
We do this. We do the story times. We do. Sometimes we have extra programs that are particularly geared toward not just fun, but literacy, our central programs that are centrally provided. Right now we have the one story time a week, but we also have for the teens, we have really just a hangout time after school. We have teen time on Tuesdays, and then teen gaming, so they can play Wii and PS4 and Xbox games and just kind of hang out and chill out after school.
Nice.
But we also have programs that adults can learn things as well. So we have our sit and stitch on Tuesday nights. And so you can bring your knitting, your crocheting, your quilting, anything that you want to do, and hang out with other like-minded individuals, and stitch for an hour or two. And then Thursdays, the second and fourth Thursday of the month, we have TGIT. Thank goodness it's Thursday. And that's for grown-ups to have adults only learning time and creative programming, and we have all different sorts of things that we do with that. It has a pretty good following. Everything from vision. For January they made a vision board and they had a meditation workshop.
Wow.
And then we have also had our paint nights have been very popular. We did a holiday paint night in December, and we're doing another one for Valentine's Day. So you get to paint a wine glass or a tumbler. So kind of that whole very popular paint night
arts and
concept.
crafts.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mason jar crafts are coming up in February. And then in March, we have pop culture and movie trivia night. And a DIY relaxation night, which was another one that was very popular, where you can make your own bath bomb and body scrub to use at home. So it's very, very popular for the TGIT. Learn how to do something new and take it home with you.
Wow. You get to have something that you can bring home.
That's right.
Now, do you have anything that this branch, they're like, book clubs?
We do not have a book club at present. We've tried it off and on, but what we do have coming up for the summer is summer reading. Every year we have a summer reading program going way, way back in the annals of librarianship. And so this year's theme is called Libraries Rock.
Oh, wow. So
it's going to be kind of a music theme. We haven't had our official info launch yet. That will happen in March. But I know the theme. And we have just are piloting a new software called Beanstack that people can register. So we are actually having a little pilot program with January. I know January is almost over, but I'll still talk about it. A winter reading program that it kind of like a very mini summer reading. So kids and adults can get used to the software, sign up, read some books, be eligible for some prizes. But the summer reading is one of the most important things we do because kids have summer slide and they can lose an entire reading level over the summer.
Wow.
So we encourage them to read. We make it fun. They have a game board that they fill out and then they can bring it back and collect prizes for reading. For the teens, we have, they enter a raffle, so they can win kind of a bigger prize, like movie tickets, or I think the grand prize is like their own e-device. I don't know what it is this year, so I don't want to speak, but like their own iPad type of thing.
That's nice.
Yeah, very nice. That's the grand prize. And the adults, again, there's even one for adults. So if you choose to enter, this summer, then they have prizes for the adults too. So, and it's all going to be registration on the Beanstack software. So
there you go. That's something new and exciting. Because I was wondering different things you're doing. for literacy, get people excited in the real books that are still there in the shelves.
Yep. The library itself has a lot of book reviews that it posts and suggestions, and we do displays all the time in the library. So usually themed displays, and a number of our library staff take turns putting up the display. So we promote the books in that way. We also offer occasionally a person from collection development to come in and do what's called a book buzz. So they'll talk about the new releases that are coming out.
Great.
We have a book page that we put out about new releases, and there's an online feature as well that called Between the Covers. That's
that on the Baltimore
that's
County
on the
Library
Baltimore
website?
County Library website.
Okay.
Yep, bcpl.info, and so.
Great.
The librarians write those reviews and suggestions. So
Terrific.
there's lots of places. And of course, we always do reader's advisory too. So if you ask us for a good book to read, we can definitely suggest one.
Well, that's good. And I think we maybe try to help you doing that here, because we have inaugurated a show, we're calling Books and Authors.
Cool.
And we're going to get people in here hopefully before their book comes out, which is in a sense what we did last week with Governor Ehrlich, because his 4th book is coming out next month.
Great.
And we want to do more of that. And certainly there's a little things that, the library could be involved with
That we would love to. Keep us in mind.
And help us with that. And I mean, I was going to say, get involved and interested in these programs with real books, because I think of almost you can think of with ebooks and everything, we're getting to a point of there might be like the virtual library, that kind of thing, where you don't deal with real people anymore.
I think there are some of those various places in the world. I think that at least for us, our circulation of actual physical books has held pretty steady.
Good.
So I think there's really, at least for the foreseeable future, still a place for that. People like that tactile experience, holding a book in their hand, taking it to the beach, wherever they're taking it.
Sure.
And so I don't see a paperless library coming anytime soon.
Good.
So I think we just try to have something for everybody. So if you want to use your e-reader, you can. But if you want that real book in your hand, you can have that too.
Because I know there was a fear when ebooks came on the scene that they would somehow supplant published books.
Right.
And you wouldn't be able to get maybe things anymore in book form, published book form.
I think from what we see, it's more of a choice of formats rather than one replacing the other. So we could have one book, especially if it's a bestseller. It could be in traditional book form, large type book form, audio form.
Oh, that's right.
So you
Audio
have
too.
2 choices for that, because we have actually 3. We have playaways, we have books on CD, and we have downloadable audio.
Oh, wow.
So you have 3 choices of audiobook.
There you go. I didn't know that.
And the downloadable ebooks.
Ebooks.
So we see it in a variety of formats, and it's just whatever suits that person best.
Oh, okay.
So,
And that's not maybe necessarily every book that comes out.
not every book.
Because I could see when, libraries and their budgets used to order so many copies of a bestseller or something, a popular book, where it seemed like much more inexpensive. They, it's available to you in audio or ebook format. And it'd be more accessible instead of, I remember, long waiting lists to get to a book. And now you have options of what format, if you want to actually burning to read that book, like maybe that new book about, Trump scandal or something.
Exactly. You can look at the hold list for different formats and say, this one is shorter, so I'm going to put a hold on it in e-reader format rather than the regular book format. But interestingly, we get our ebooks through a consortium, so there can actually be a wait list for an ebook, not just a hard copy book.
Okay. So it's not just,
it's not like, just instantaneous.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have to wait a little bit even for the ebook.
Even though I do, find that Baltimore County is very swift when I put in for request for a hold. I get those books very quickly.
That is really part of, you asked, what our theme, our philosophy was, and going back to when Charlie Robinson was our director, his philosophy was give them what they want. And so our director, Paula Miller, that's why our strategic plan is called Give Them What They Want for the 21st Century.
Terrific.
So we do still try with things that are really hot off the press and bestsellers to buy, and also the DVDs, the new DVDs are very popular, to buy in a quantity that people won't have to wait a long time for their material. So that's still, that philosophy is held true.
Well, I think it's great too, because I don't know if it was in the past, maybe before your time, but it seemed like, at least with the city, I don't know about the county, that, books that you had in your branch were tied to that branch, where at some point there was philosophy that says, you want a book, we'll get it from anywhere and bring it to you, because these books belong to the entire library system. They're not this particular branch's copy of this particular book.
And that is correct. And that is the way that we operate. It's commonly referred to as floating collections.
Okay.
But basically, the books don't belong to the Lansdowne branch. They belong to Baltimore County Public Library.
Right.
So we can get a book from any other branch if we don't have it, which as a small branch really helps us because we have very limited shelf space.
Yes, you do.
And likewise, so many of our customers will put holds on books, or we can do it for them, and order in, so to speak.
Right.
And then if our shelves get really, really full of a certain genre, our wonderful collection development person, we can say, would you take some of these and send them to another branch? So we don't have carts of overflow like you used to.
Right.
And then they will very kindly send them to another branch that needs that type of material.
Now, let's bring up along that line some there. Interlibrary loans.
That we can do that. There are two different types of that. There's one called a marina, and that's we can get a book from anywhere in Maryland for you, free of charge. It takes about 5 to 7 days to get from point A to point B.
Pretty quick.
Yep. And then if whatever you want can't be found in Maryland, we can do an interlibrary loan, which we do through a system called OCLC.
Okay.
And we can get a book usually from anywhere in the United States.
Wow.
It takes a week or two. There's a nominal $2 charge, which many of our customers are happy to pay, if they can get something that they could not find anywhere except for somewhere very far away.
There you go.
So that's a really awesome service that we offer. We can get, I wouldn't say every single book in the entire universe, but most of the time we're successful in getting something from wherever in the United States that's willing to loan it.
Is there anything that we missed or anything you want to add before we close?
Oh, I just want to add say thank you for having me on your
you're
show.
Very welcome.
And say, just if you haven't visited the library, please come out and visit us. We have something for everyone and a lot of fun programs.
There we go. And thank you, Cindy, for being here today. I learned a lot today, so
good.
That's great.
You're quite welcome.
Okay, folks, well, guess what? We reached the end of another Lansdowne show, or hour. We don't know if we went an hour. And I'll see you next time with another interesting local guest. Bye for now.
You're watching the Lansdowne Hour here on TV Free Baltimore.